Hey guys, and welcome to LITTLEBLACKBOOK91. I am sitting down with the infamous, the mischievous, the finest of our castmates on Ready to Love Me and Me Season 2. I'm sitting down with Morgan. Morgan, how you doing today?
Hi, Kojo. How are you? I'm
Mm,
doing good.
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been looking forward to this. Okay, I've been looking real forward to this, Morgan. Okay, because you've been doing a lot this season and I've been talking a lot. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to this conversation. Now, this probably will have to be a part one or part two because, there's a lot to address and I know we're on a time constraint. So I want to respect that. So, Morgan, before we go anywhere deep, I want to just, do some human verification. Got to make sure you are who you say you are. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. My first question is, what is your favorite meal?
Ooh, crabs.
Crabs. Okay,
hmm
cool. Favorite restaurant?
It's between right now Kuro,
Mm,
Japanese steakhouse in Hard Rock, and Poppy Steak. They got that Hitachi fish or something. It's so bomb. Yeah.
mm, okay. And
hmm
what's the minimum threshold a man has to make before he can date you,
That's the
Morgan? Just want
stupidest question I've ever
to
heard. I
gotta
don't
make
have a
sure.
dollar amount. No, I will never. I will
Can
never
he be a bus
put.
driver?
Oh boy. All right. So is he the manager of the bus drivers? Yes. If he's the
Hmm.
manager, if his career has room to grow and he desires to be more than a bus driver,
Absolutely.
I won't
Fantastic.
say absolutely. I can't even sit up here. I got to be honest with you and I'm going to be honest with myself. The answer
Mm, mm,
is I would have to play it case by case. But I
mm.
wouldn't just automatically dismiss anyone for being
That's
a
fair.
bus driver.
That's
I don't
fair. And
think.
and
I don't
someone
think.
letting you as well, just ask, well, do you date internationally or is this strictly domestic?
I have dated internationally.
Mm.
Actually, before I started Ready to Love, I was dating some guy from a Nigerian from Italy, yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, long distance relationships don't work.
I
But I am
honestly.
listen, I thank God that I'm an American, but if I had the opportunity to live abroad, I would do it in a heartbeat.
No, I definitely hear that. Definitely hear that. Cereal or the milk in the bowl first?
Cereal.
Cereal.
And then the
Okay.
milk got to come on the side because I don't want too much milk because I don't want the cereal to get soggy. So I got to put like a little bit at a time.
I like that. I like that.
hmm
Okay, cool. I think you've passed the human verification. I believe you're human.
Okay.
And so I want to get into some conversation with you. So my first question to you, Morgan, is who is Morgan and what is Morgan's story?
Morgan is uh, cooler than a polar bear's toenails. Okay. I am one of the dopest people you ever meet in your life. Um, I love myself. I love my friends. I love my family. I love my parents. I love my siblings. I mean, you want to know my whole life story? Fine. I graduated from high school in
Hmm.
2002. I went to the military. I moved away. I was gone for about 8 9 years, and I came back to Miami for a little bit. I stayed here for like maybe 2 3 years, and I was ready to get a taste of something else. I moved to Atlanta for about 5 6 years. I came back to Miami, and I don't think most people know this, but I am military, so Yeah, I'm an
Mm.
interior designer full time, and I'm a reservist part time. So yeah,
Mm.
that's
Okay.
um, that's all I got.
No,
That's all I got.
that's all we needed. Okay, when you say
Hmm.
military, sorry, what do you mean by military? Can you just let us understand that a bit better?
Okay, I was active duty Air Force um, for 8 years, 8, 9 years. I'm a medic in the military. Um,
Mm.
I see patients, and yeah, so I'm here. I'm a designer right now. This is my store. Everyone thinks I'm on vacation. I'm not on vacation. So I'm actually at work, and then I'm a part-time medic in the military.
Mm.
Learn something
What
every
took
day, huh, Kojo?
yeah, what took you into that space then?
Into the military.
Yeah.
My mama said I ain't have no choice.
When you, why? What do you mean?
I wanted to go to FAMU. I was at marching
Mm.
band, and she saw something better for me for my future, and I'm happy I listened to her. My dad's retired, military family. My siblings are military, close friends are military. So it just seemed like the right thing to do. I didn't stay even after 8 years.
Hmm.
Everyone's like, "Why don't you retire?" I just didn't feel free to be myself. I don't really fit anyone's mold to be in such a strict um,
Mm.
place at such a young age. I was 19 when I left.
Okay.
And I just wanted to spread my wings, and I wanted to see what civilian life felt like. And I'm happy I did it. It's pros and cons because my
Mm.
brother about to retire. I could have been retired. But
Mm.
on the other side, I feel like I've lived such a fulfilled life up until this point. I have no regrets.
Mm. Okay, that's quite interesting. So you said obviously for you, you wanted to go FM. Is it F? Is it F?
FAMU, it's a
FMU? Okay.
HBCU in Florida.
Oh, okay. And
Hmm.
what would you have wanted to study at the time? Would that have
Music.
been what you're doing now? Music.
I would have been a music major. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What you sing, you play, or both?
I play a clarinet. I was really good, really good.
Hmm.
I could have
Clarinet.
I could have went to any school in Florida. But my mom, my dad wanted me to go to the military.
Was that okay? So I know you said obviously it was great now looking back at it, but at the time, how did you take that decision? Like when you had to, when you took on what your mum said and chose the military instead of going and pursuing the clarinet and music further.
Honestly, I didn't. I've always known that my parents knew what was best for me. So it was never like, oh, I want to go to the. No, she said that that would have been a better fit for me. She gave me a lot of reasons why, and I was okay with it.
Mm,
I didn't feel like maybe a little bit later, I felt like,
mm,
dang, maybe I missed out on the college life a little bit. I'm seeing all my friends pledging. That's probably one thing I wish I would have did. I wish I would have pledged. That'd have been dope. But other than that, no, no, I'm
who do you
happy.
want to pledge for?
I don't know. The pretty ones. Which ones is the pretty girls?
I have no clue. We don't pledge in UK, so
Mm.
I have no clue. So whoever the pretty ones are, I'm sure someone will put in the chat for who they are. So for the pretty ones, okay. So you would have wanted to pledge for the pretty ones, okay. All right, no, I get that. So okay, music was one of the things that you loved doing as well at the time, but you went into military at the time. Okay, cool. That's pretty interesting. So then, would you say that was your girlhood dream then? Music, was that your girlhood dream, or was it something else your girlhood dream for you, Morgan?
um, I just love music, man. I love
Mm,
music. I love all genres of music. I think that was instilled in me from an early age. I played instruments from elementary school on up.
wow.
Um, I go to the symphony by myself because I'm
Mm,
lame and nobody wants to go. So every time the Florida Symphony is playing, I'll just go get a ticket alone, and I'll go to the symphony. I go watch the arts. So yeah, anything performing arts is my
mm,
dream. Is what I love. Not necessarily to do it at this point in my life, but I have a huge appreciation for the arts. Hence, I have an undergrad in fine arts.
mm. What happens when you engage in your art form? So music, you know, in the clarinet. What happens to you for you? What does it mean for you when you're able to engage and actually do your craft?
Well, I don't play music anymore. I just
Oh,
enjoy
okay.
it. Yeah, I haven't picked up a clarinet in years. I wonder if I still know how to sight read music. It's been so long. But yeah, I don't play any instrument right now. I just enjoy it. I enjoy um live instruments, live music. Any live music
Mm.
really.
When's the last time you went to, like I said, the symphony or a show, musical show?
It might have been like 2 months ago. 2 months ago. Oh my God. So is it
Mm-hmm.
the Vienna Philharmonic? Um bucket list.
Yeah, school me,
Bucket
boys. I
list.
don't know about this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bucket list, man. It's such a glorious orchestra. And one day I'm going to Vienna to see them perform live.
Mm. Well, so music's a big thing for you. So music is a really big part of your life in a sense.
Yeah.
Oh. So we got music, we got military, medic. Okay, that's some interesting things. So talk to
Design.
me, tell me. Design as well,
Design.
fashion design. So
Hmm.
you're on the
No,
creative as well.
interior design.
Oh, interior
I'm
design.
an interior designer. Yes, I'm a residential designer.
When did you get into that?
Like 10 years ago. I
Mm.
started at the Art Institute in Miami for design, and then I transferred to Atlanta. That's what brought me to Atlanta. And I graduated with my degree in design from Atlanta.
And then you went into straight into interior. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Hmm. Intriguing. Talk to me, Morgan. So talk to me before because we've hit the middle. We've gone straight to almost like your teen going to adult. Let's go all the way back though, baby. Let's go all the way back. You know what I'm saying? Let's go
Okay.
all the way back. All
I
right.
think I'm
So
gonna spill
little
some tea
Morgan,
for you, Kojo,
is it?
that no one knows. I don't think I said it.
Oh,
I don't think I said it,
okay,
but we'll get there. I'm gonna wait.
okay, all right. So let's talk about little Morgan. Where growing up, what was little Morgan like? So before we get to going to military, all that stuff, younger Morgan, young girl Morgan, what was
I
that? What
mean,
was that?
I just feel like as a child,
Mm.
if I was to look at myself through, my parents' eyes, I don't think they could have asked for a better daughter. I
Oh.
mean, I did my chores. I did good
Mm-hmm.
in school. Um, I wasn't boy crazy.
Okay.
I was well behaved. We were a foster home. I don't think anybody knows that. My mom, my parents decided to open up our home to foster kids, and it played a big role in what made me not want to have kids, especially without a marriage, because at a young age, I knew what it took to handle babies. So we'd have anywhere
Mm.
from 2 to 4 infants in our home all the time. So yeah, I was a huge help to my parents. Of course, I always had a
Okay.
mouth. That's the only thing I got in trouble for was my mouth.
Mm.
But overall, I was pretty close to it.
Mm. Wait, so when you said there was young kids in the house, so you were almost acting like a third parent. So you was raising them like I was in
Oh,
my
for
household.
sure, for sure. My
Mm.
mama had me going to pick them kids up from daycare. I had to come
Mm.
home. I had them lined up in all their cribs, 4 of them. I had to make their dinner. I had to get them ready.
Damn.
This was me at 16 years old. And I didn't mind.
$16.
I
Woo.
love kids, man. It was my jam. I never took it as I was being overwhelmed or she was making me do her job. I just genuinely love kids and kids love me. Um, so I loved it. I love babies, and we still keep in touch with some of those babies to this day. So that's pretty cool.
Wow. Well, that's impressive. I mean, but that's a lot though. It's a lot to handle. You know what I mean? At
It is a lot to
16.
handle. It is a
You know what
lot
I
to
mean?
handle. I didn't get in trouble in school. I never got detentions. I never got sent to the counselor's office for real. I was good. A's and B's.
Mm. So straight A student, A's and
Yeah.
B's, just good old, just perfect role model, Morgan.
Well, I'll say this. I think my mom sheltered me appropriately.
Okay.
It wasn't like I wasn't like overly sheltered, but she wouldn't let me spend the night at nobody's house either.
No,
You know,
that's
right. The
yeah.
answer might have been no, you can't go to the movies tonight sometimes, so it was a
Mm.
healthy balance. I wasn't allowed to date boys. I was sneaking dating boys at like 17 still.
Them ones
Um,
there.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't get in trouble. I never got in trouble.
I can imagine. So tell us, okay, so talk to us a little bit about your relationship with your mom growing up for you, from your perspective. What was that like?
Um, my relationship with my mom was she was my go-to. My
Mm.
mom worked from home, so she
Okay,
was more accessible to me than my daddy. But overall, I mean, every mom and daughter have their, bump heads sometimes, especially a teenager with your
I get
mom.
that.
Again, I wanted to do a lot of stuff and she didn't let me do it. But looking back, she did what she was supposed to do. She shouldn't have let me
Mm.
go every time I wanted to go somewhere. So of course, when I'm in my teenage years, I think, oh, she never wanted me to do nothing. And man, that's a long story. We'll get to that later.
Mm?
Um,
You can make it
yeah.
short, baby. You don't have to
Okay, I'll make it short. So
go
17
on,
years
go.
old. I was
Hmm.
17. My boyfriend was 19.
Oh, that's not too
And
bad. But go on. Hmm.
no, but you couldn't tell me nothing at 17 years old. I had this cute boyfriend. He
I
drove
can't
a
imagine that.
car. Yeah, he drove and he would come to my school and we had a pretty like, my school was known as, that's where all the pretty girls went. I didn't say that, y'all, it's just true. So I never said it. This is just what's known. You can ask anybody on here that went to Corey Senior High School. It is known. Okay. Yeah, that's where all the pretty girls go. So I had this
Mm.
real cute 19-year-old boyfriend. He used to come see me. So it was Valentine's Day. And he came to my school with two cars full of balloons. So now I'm walking around this 17-year-old girl with my balloons filled up the courtyard. And he bought us matching outfits. So I had the Scooby Doo outfit made. I had blue Scooby Doo material skirt, and we had matching blue Scooby Doo um, shirts. So we were gonna take pictures on Valentine's Day. So he knew he couldn't knock on my door after a certain time. So he left my Reeboks, some classic Reeboks, in the mailbox. So the next morning I got up, I put my Reeboks on, I got my balloons. I'm just excited for this date. And I said, Mommy, Mommy, can I go to dinner with Avery? No.
Mm.
Mom, why? Because I said so.
I hear that.
And she knew what time it was. She knew what was about to go down, or so she thought. But I remember being hurt because I was such a good child. I never
Mm.
caused my parents no trouble. I wasn't having sex, and I'm like, well, what's the big deal? I'm doing, what I should do. But in hindsight, she probably thought that that's what was going to happen. I mean, it ended up happening anyway.
Anyway,
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's young to us. Yeah,
but that's not what was on my mind as
I
as,
agree.
as much as she thought it was. Yeah. So that's a
Hmm.
Scooby Doo Valentine's Day story, and just a little insight to what it was like to growing up in the Johnsons household.
Mm. Okay, so I hear you. I hear on that, and I get it. When you get to a certain age, we all get to that rebellion. Say at 17, they locked me out the house, man. So to be honest, because I was at my girlfriend's house, and they said, my dad told me, listen, wherever you came from, you can go back there. So it gets at that. Yeah, I was at 17. I started the rebellion. You know what I mean? I was a good kid, and I at 17 is when I started some of the madness that I began. Because I was just wanting my freedom. In an African
Okay.
household, you are restricted.
Oh, for sure.
Sometimes, you know what I mean. Like, no matter, I'm firstborn, so
Mhm.
I looked after my siblings. I potty trained. I did all that kind of stuff. Looked after the babies.
Mhm.
Saw them walk. Saw them crawl. Saw them all the do those stuff.
Mhm.
Did all the food. I just didn't breastfeed. You know what I mean? Did pretty much everything like that. And it's for me, it was never saw it as a problem because I was young. When I got older, I realized how restricting it actually was. So a lot of my
Mhm.
behaviors I realized are now trying to not be restricted. So it's why I love arts and I love doing this YouTube and I love singing, I love dancing. I don't like no one telling me what I can and can't do.
Mhm.
Like, I don't like that kind of stuff. So I can understand where you're coming from in that regard. Okay, so at 17 when you had a boyfriend, was it at that point, maybe it wasn't a point at all for you, but was there a point where Morgan said, you know what, I hear you, but was that a start of Morgan starting to say, I'm gonna do me now. I'm gonna try and rebel a little bit. When did you have your moment where you're like, I'm
I
gonna
was
I'm
never
gonna
I
do
was
me now?
never I was never rebellious. I
Oh,
never
okay.
rebelled against my parents. African households are strict, and so are Christian households. I
That's
didn't have
true.
time to rebel. I was in church all the time. I was in church on Wednesday for choir rehearsal. I was in church on Thursday for Bible study. I was in church on Saturday morning for dance practice. I was in church Sunday morning again at 9 a.m. for pre-service, and then another service. And then we all went to the Sizzler and came back to go to church again. I didn't have no time to rebuild. I just stayed in church all the time. Um, yeah, but I will say
Yeah.
this. I think that was one of my reasons for deciding to separate from the military, is because I was
Mm,
kind of restricted as a child, and then I went into the military where it was also restriction.
restricted.
And
Mm,
I was at what, 27 years old at this point, and I just wanted to know what it felt like, truth be told, to wear yellow nail polish. You know, I wanted to know
mm,
what it was like if I wanted to dye my hair a certain color. I just wanted to be me. And at 27 years
mm,
old, I decided to just try and find out, you know, what do I like? What do I like if I don't owe anybody a time, or a standard, a dress and appearance. Like, what do I want to wear? What do I want to do? What do I want to say? And I took a leap of faith, and I said, Lord, I don't know what I'm going to do, but this ain't it. It's so much more in store for me.
So tell me about that journey then of finding you and discovering what you want to do, like, because that's a journey in itself. Like, what was that like for you exploring that and finally having the ability to like take the shackles off my feet so I can dance?
Um, well, first when I got out, the transition is real. For all my veterans on here listening, hey, thank you for your service. The transition from military life to civilian life is, I don't think we realize that it is such a big deal. You go from, you know, all your needs being met without you having to do anything, especially Air Force. Go Air Force. It's just a quality of life you get used to, and then when you're not in the military anymore, for me, I won't speak for anybody else. It's like, wait a minute, I have to make my own dentist appointment. Y'all not gonna do that for me. I gotta buy my own clothes. I don't get a clothing allowance anymore, so it does take some unlearning and relearning. It's like you gotta learn how to be an adult all over again, because you don't have that backbone anymore. You don't have that safety net. You don't have that protection. Um, so yeah, I got out, and my first thought was nursing, because that's all
Mm,
I had done while I was in the military. Um, and I got right up to the start of the class, and I was like, Lord, this ain't it either. I'm doing it because
mm,
it's safe. I'm doing it because it's easy for me. I'm doing it
mm,
because this is what I know, but I'm not passionate about this. Um, I'm not passionate about this, and I didn't want to invest any more time, any more energy, any more brain power into anything that I was not passionate about. And
mm,
shortly thereafter, light bulb went off. People always ask me to help them with their homes and things of that sort. And I'm like, why don't I take up a career as a designer? And
mm.
that's what I did. And I would say since then, since I started design school in 2012, 2013, I think that's when I found Morgan. I began to meet people. I have a lot of friends that I met in design school, and those people are just like very dear to me. You get around a certain group of people that have similar interests and similar ways of thinking. We all here loving the arts. I think it just allowed me to like blossom into this amazing person that I am today.
Mm. Man, I love that you shared that. And that you expressed. I love the fact that you expressed yourself in terms of like when you realized that nursing wasn't it as well, and that you wanted to find your passion.
Hmm.
Once you found obviously your passion, I'm guessing that partly is interior design, and discovering you. Uh, what was that like then? So once you come to that place and you're discovering that this is more you, what's that like for you?
Okay, so I forgot. I skipped the tea part. I was supposed to spill tea.
Oh,
Um, so before I got out of the military, again, this is me not knowing Morgan. Um, I was married. Okay, I was married. I
you
was
were
married
married.
before. I was married before. I was a little girl. I had no business being married. I was 20 years old. My honeymoon was in Mexico. I couldn't even drink because I wasn't of age. Yeah, so it's a thing. People in the military, specifically young people in the military, you just get married so you can get more money and move off base. And that's technically what happened. He swore he was in love with me. I think he was. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that at some point while we were filming, and maybe just didn't make it. But it's not a secret. I don't hide it. It just
No,
doesn't
no, no.
count. It doesn't count because it was literally like 6 months. So, this is how I ended up getting a divorce. We both were medics. We both worked in the hospital. So if you're married to military, it's called meal to meal. You have to go where your spouse go. So he wanted to take up this new career venture, and I said, sure, let's do it. Let's pick base A, base C. I mean, B, A, B, C, D, or E. These are the bases that I want to move to. He said, okay, cool. So one day I get to my job, and there's like orders on my desk for Japan. Now I'm a Florida girl. I'm only 20 years old. I just moved out of my parents' house a year and a half ago. What you mean you moving me to Japan? No. And I'm like, why would you do this? This is not what we talked about. This is not what we agreed about. He's like, well, I just love you so much. I want to get you away from everybody because there's too much negative stuff here because he had been with half the base before me. Obviously, I didn't know. Then, skeletons started to get uncovered. And yeah, so his solution was let me just move her to Japan. And so I went to my chief and I said, well, what the hell is this? And he was like, you need to go talk to your husband. I said, well, I'm not going. So I slid the orders to his side on the desk. He slid them back and I said, Chief, I'm not going. He said, you need to go talk to your husband. I said, what do I have to do to not go? You have to not be married, Morgan. That's the only way that you're not going to Japan. And I said, divorce me, please. Where y'all need me to sign? So yeah, he went on about his business, and that just goes to show how little I knew of myself, how little I respected marriages at 20 years old. Um, I didn't hold it sacred. Obviously, I was married. I wasn't just out here wilding, but I didn't respect it the way I should have at 20 years old. Nor will I hold myself to it. I was too young. I was too young. So I look at my mom and my dad now, like, why y'all let me do that? They was like, we couldn't tell you nothing. You was gonna do it anyway. And I said, well, I guess I had to learn. Doesn't count, Kojo. 6 months. All we had was a dog, and I took it.
No, 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 no. Wait.
It's like now it's like 19 years ago. Y'all about to freaking.
Let's hold on
I
a
was
minute.
married.
Let's
Yeah.
what's going on? Wait,
Hmm.
rewind the freaking tape. Let's rewind the tape.
I
I'm looking at
wasn't
me
in
like that with
love.
his eyes.
I
Rewind the
wasn't in
tape.
love.
Yeah,
I
I'm not saying
wasn't in love.
I'm not even about to blame you. I want to understand something
Hmm.
because at 20, as you were just sharing with us, you actually went into the military because your mum suggested it. So what happens between 19 and
And
20
20.
that your mum now says to you, well, we couldn't tell you nothing because at 19 she could tell you something and you decided to listen. So at
Hmm.
20, what happens in a year or less?
I, I'm an adult. I'm liberated. I don't owe my mama no permission, or I don't need her approval at this point. Like the same way that I just sent my niece slash daughter, right? She's in the Navy, and
Mm,
she just went away last actually while we were filming. It was one of those actually we was getting ready to send had to my separation date with Lyndon. They wanted me to do it right then and there. And I was like, no, my baby's leaving. I have to go send her off to the Navy.
mm,
So she's 18, 19 when this happened. She just sent me a picture the other day with this big old tattoo on her back. She's liberated. She's an adult. She's
mm.
self sufficient. I'm still her mom. I'm still her aunt. But at the same time, I can't control her. And that's probably what my mom, like, what's she going to do? Tell me no. I think ultimately she did want it for me. She tried to talk some sense into me, but I think, you know, I think she was hopeful that I was mature enough to honor this marriage. So maybe she just took it and was like, well, my baby gonna do it anyway, so I might as well support her. So
What did your
nothing
dad
happened.
say at the time?
My daddy's a man of very few words.
Mm.
My daddy's a man of very few words. So he didn't say nothing. He didn't. I'm sure he was like, well, Morgan, you sure? And I probably said, yeah, daddy, I'm sure. I said, okay, introduced them and seemed like a good dude. And yeah, I mean, he talked to me like, are you sure? That are you sure conversation, but not the way I probably would have wanted him to, you know.
Mm. What would you have wanted him to have said or done at the time?
You sit your ass down and stay over there. That's what he should have hit me with.
Oh, that's what you meant. I was like, wait, hold on a minute. What have I done? I was like, maybe we've only done 20. We've only done 30 minutes. Okay, so you're saying you would have wanted more of that from him to you
Sit down, Morgan.
at
What
that
are you
time.
doing? Yeah,
Mm.
that's all. But
So, wait, how did you even get? Wait, this guy. How did he even get to this point in the first place? Because what did you see in him? How did y'all even get attracted to that point? I know that you guys were in the same, but how did we get to that place where we're now wanting to marry though, not just
um,
date?
you know what, Kojo? I still think about that.
Yes.
I think I was hmm, I didn't know how to say no at that age.
Mm.
Um, when he proposed to me, my mind, my mouth said yes, and my mind said, I'll eventually have, I can't go through with this. Like, Morgan, you can't go through with this, right? Um, and
Mm.
I just never stopped it to the point he was deployed, he was in Afghanistan, and I'm telling myself the whole time, like, you can't go through with this. You don't love this person for real. You're too young for this. And I never did. So I just went through with it, and yeah, that's it. That's all there is to the story. He's there's no bad guy story. We're both from Miami. Ironically,
Of
we're both
course.
from Miami. He's a good guy. Don't keep in touch like at all. I think he's on Facebook, but I don't know much
That's
about
fair.
him. Hmm.
So you just said something really powerful here. You said you felt like you could not say no.
Hmm. I didn't know how to say no or
Why?
express
What?
myself fully.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe because I wasn't allowed to say no when I was
Mm.
younger. Black households, you're not
Yep.
allowed to say no or how you feel. Um, so that was just something I couldn't get out. And that may explain now while I'm so, forthcoming and very direct in my no's. The Bible say, let your yeses be yeses and your no's be no's. So when I say one or the other, I'm very vocal about it. Um, and it was a learned behavior. And I won't say I learned that until around 2017. I was in
Mm.
Atlanta and I remember saying like, practice saying no. Somebody taught me that. I don't remember who. They were like, you need
Mm.
to learn how to say no. And I was like, okay. So for 1 year, I was very intentional about saying no. I didn't owe you an
Mm.
explanation to my no. I don't have to justify my no. My no is just no. Where there's a no, I don't feel like it, or no, I don't want to. I don't have to make up a lie. No, you know, and it's liberating when you get to a point where you can say no. And
I
I
agree.
feel that way now. Like I'm not my well-being. It comes before anyone else's. So I refuse to put myself in a compromising situation to appease somebody else. Why would I do that? You know. So I'd rather you be uncomfortable than me be uncomfortable, and I'm okay with that.
Mm. Mm.
All right, doctor. What's next?
Hmm. Why do you think I'm trying to doctor? I'm just, I'm intrigued. I'm just trying. I'm trying to figure out because, like I said, I don't want to just go by what the show showed me,
You can't figure
but I
me
do
out.
want to
Okay.
understand where you're coming from. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Hmm.
Yes. So, okay. So, and I appreciate you sharing that. All right. It's actually real as well. So then, like I said, your dad's a man of few words.
Hmm.
So, daughters and their fathers' relationships are a special bond. And I talk about this on the show a lot on this channel. Um, Daughters learn, about love oftentimes through their father figures and watching them how they act with their mothers. So I want to know from your perspective what the relationship was like for you, honest perspective, how the relationship was like from you as a young Morgan.
The relationship with my dad, I think, was pretty healthy. He was um I won't say I mean, he was the provider in our household. So his days were long. He got up, he went to work, he came home. He supported me, anything that I was doing as far as any concerts or shows or anything. If it was traveling, my parents were there. It was never a time where I looked in the stands and felt like, oh, I don't have, no, they were there.
Mm,
So when it came to those things, I never felt that he was doing me a disservice. But again, he is a man of a very few words. So maybe there was some times where I just needed a little bit of coaching and direction when it came to relationships. That wasn't his strong point, but I would never take away any of my dad's credit
mm,
ever. So nobody's perfect, and he did a good job, a damn good job, and yeah, I don't think it was anything outside of the ordinary. Um, I'm just blessed that I had a mom and a dad, that I have a
mm.
mom and a dad.
Yeah, no, listen, and whenever I ask this question, it's not about trying to paint the parent in a negative light. It's more about what you experience, so that we know where you're coming from. For instance, let me share something with you. Since I'm asking all the questions, and I've mentioned this before. I have both my parents there. Both my mum and dad, they're still married to this day, still living together, still in a relationship, still married. Um, and I always say that, one of the things that was hardest for me is that in the African household, Christian household, is expression of thought and emotion. So a lot of times you are rewarded by the actions, uh, rather than who you actually are. So, for instance, if I get up in the morning and if I hoover, I clean, if I wash dishes, if I come back with an A grade, I'll get the reward and applaudits that I need. But for being who I actually am, just being, that's sometimes not necessarily what's rewarded. That's not necessarily what's appreciated. And I realize how that, as an individual who's sensitive, how that impacts me, right? So I have some aspects of me which are emotionally detached. So I can be a little bit cold, right? I was just talking to Lyndon about this. I can be sometimes cold at points in time, but I'll sit, I'll listen, I'll take in everything you got to say and try and I'll understand everybody else. But I found it hard to also say no as well, because it was attached to me being liked. I wanted to be
Hmm.
liked, you know what I mean, for just me
Hmm.
being me. But I was so used to having to do stuff to be liked that I didn't realize at the time that me saying no was also tied into that. If I say no, I don't want you to be disappointed or hurt. You know what I mean? Um, so I realized a lot of times that my parents both being there, they provided, they did everything, but because of some of those aspects that I required as a young individual, I found myself in growing up and even now dealing with some of those after effects. So it wasn't necessarily a critique on a parenting to say they're bad, but rather more a case of this is what I needed, and because I didn't have it, I see how it's affected me in some shape or form. If that makes sense.
I think it's a pattern that our generation will break. I think that
Mm,
they did the best that they could, especially here in America. Only what, 3, 4 generations ago, my ancestors were slaves, maybe. I don't know. I didn't do the ancestry kit or not, but even if not my ancestors, like somebody in the lineage came here from somewhere. So it's just a slave mentality that we're slowly getting out of, the whole
mm,
don't speak, I said this, do as I say, I think
yeah.
that's trickling out. And I think with our generation, we're gonna be the last ones to let that happen. Um, yeah, so I just think it was a cultural thing. Um, but I agree 100% for sure. It was all great when I was making good grades. It was all great when I got up and did my chores. But the minute I tried to express myself, it wasn't well received. Um, and again, I don't think that's too different from anybody else's story. I think we can all say the same thing. So, yeah.
So then obviously, then you get into dating. Obviously, after obviously once we found out you got married, the tea that obviously you got married, very
Yeah.
very young, and then obviously you got out of that. Uh, what was your next relationship then after that? Then what was your next, I guess, serious relationship, if you want to call it that?
So my next relationship and my most serious relationship and my longest relationship happened after that. Um, We met when I was in the military, um, and he was older than me.
Mm.
I kind of liked that he was so much older than me. He was like older than me by what, 14 years. I liked it. Um, and yeah, we were Bonnie and Clyde, man. Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde. We were just, I didn't want for nothing. I didn't have to ask for anything. I wasn't like, I don't know. Like I wasn't needy. Like I want this. Go buy me
Mm.
that. Go buy me that. No, he just did it. I didn't really have to want for anything. And in return, I held him down when the time came. Um, yeah, I didn't. He was there. Like we were always joined at the hip. His family became my family. My family became his family. Um, ultimately, Kojo, with
Mm-hmm.
him, it was like a commitment thing. With him, it was real hard. It was like, it was just tough. And I think I have the mentality, or had the mentality, that um either gonna be perfect now or that's it. I was still very young. I was still very young. And I ended up ending a relationship. He actually moved to Miami with me when I got out the military.
Oh,
And it ended shortly thereafter. I at that time felt like there was something better. The grass may have been greener, um, but it wasn't. Um, Would I should I have stayed in it? I don't know. He was probably the best of them. I didn't bring him
14
because that
years.
story.
14 years is a long time. 14 years is a big gap.
He's so fun. You can be 14 years older and still like,
That's true.
youthful at heart.
Mm.
So that was our age was never a problem. Now we had other problems, but our age wasn't one. He's silly, like I'm silly, so it just really worked. We worked really well together. Um, yeah, my longest relationship was 6 years.
What made it end in the end? What brought it
Me
to an end?
feeling like I could do better and that he didn't deserve me because, he had been unfaithful. And yeah, that was it.
So the cheating ended the relationship. Infidelity
Yeah,
ended that brought it into them.
yeah. Fidelity probably ended all my relationships. Almost, almost. A good majority of them for sure.
Hmm. Why do you think that is?
Um, I would say after him was when I moved to Miami and I started dating the wrong kind of guy. Um, I was just out here. I was out. I just got in the military. I'm newly single. I want to be out. So I'm out here in these streets, and with
I
that
hear that.
lifestyle comes a certain kind of party goer, or somebody else
Mm.
that's out here in these streets. And it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. Live on Sunday, King of Diamonds Monday, G5, take one, the office. Like it was fun, but that can only last but for so long. So yeah, being in those kind of places, you get those kind of people.
Mm.
So that's all. Um, can I take accountability for it? No, because men cheat. It doesn't matter what you do. Um, Most men cheat.
I mean, I'll disagree, but I hear what you're saying. I don't know about most, but I definitely think men definitely cheat. But I hear what you're
Okay, you're
saying.
right. You know what? I take that back. Maybe not most, because
Okay, that's
the
cool.
men that don't cheat are the ones that I'm not looking at. So, I would say there's a good majority of men that cheat. Not all. Not all.
So what was Morgan searching for at that time?
In my 20s,
Yeah, what were you searching for?
I was searching for the next party. What are you talking about?
Mm.
Yeah, I wanted to know where we were going tonight, or who's coming to
But
my
did you have to
house.
enter? Did we have to enter a little bit of quote unquote relationships at the time to find that? Could we not have done that without entering relationships? That's why I asked what were we searching for?
Mm, I was chasing a certain lifestyle. Not that I had to chase it because I've always been, well off on my own. But
Hmm.
um, I mean, I just gotta call it what it is. I like that environment for myself at the time. And guess what? I'm not sorry about it. Did y'all just hear me say I was in the military from a young girl for 8 or 9 years? I didn't get to do what people had done in their early 20s. So I
Mm.
probably started a little bit later, and I'm okay with that. I needed to know what it felt like to just kind of date and live in the moment and party and do all these things and paint my nails yellow if I wanted to. So yeah, I hear you, you know, as far as what was I chasing, why did I end up with these kind of men? But I just did it a little later than other people because that part of my life started a little bit later.
No, I was only asking because I was like, um, I get it. I get the chasing, the lifestyle, the fun, being the streets. Listen, that part I get it.
Hmm.
I think there's a deeper aspect when we enter into relationships though to access that, because you can still do that. You're a beautiful woman. You can still do that without having to enter relationships. You can still flirt with it, dance on the edge of it without actually entering into it. So when we enter into it, that's what I was like, then maybe we were looking at, maybe we were wanting something other than just the fun. Maybe Morgan was actually looking for something, because the lifestyle could have been done anyway. Like you said, there were guys. I'm sure there would have been guys that would have supplied what you needed without you even needing to be in a relationship. They would have given you the fun. They would have taken you out places. They would have chauffeured you here and there. You didn't need to be in a relationship to get that.
Well, let me just clarify the
Okay.
relationship that I'm talking about when I moved back home and it was just one. It was just
Okay.
one relationship. I wasn't in and out and searching all over the place. No, he was fun. I knew what I was getting myself into. Um, I didn't know where to go. He took me everywhere. He
Mm.
took me everywhere. And we had a good time. We chopped it up, and then, you know, again, you get a certain kind of man when you find these men in certain places. It didn't last long, you know, about a year, and I knew it was only temporary. I just, you know, lived in the moment.
Okay. So then, obviously, you meet Captain, the what's his name, Junior.
Junior, yeah.
Tell us about Junior's situation. Tell us about Junior, how you met Junior, and just a little about that.
I met Junior at a pool party,
Mm.
and he caught my eye. I caught
Mm-hmm.
his eye. I like a very confident man.
Come on.
So a man will always catch my eye when he approaches me with a certain demeanor. And
Mm.
he did. He was just very sure, like, you, I want you. And obviously y'all see I like that. Um he yeah, so he was nice to me. He was handsome. We had a good time. You know, I keep saying this that I'm very social. I'm a social butterfly. I don't like typical things. Like I'm not in the club. I'm not, you know, I don't do all that stuff. But I do like being social. I like being out in the city, out on the town. And we did a
Mm.
lot of that. We did a lot of that. And it was just a really great time. So let me clarify when I said to Junior that we weren't,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in a relationship.
You weren't in a
That was
relationship.
that was cap. That was cap, y'all. It was
Oh,
cap.
you.
I didn't want the title because I felt like he didn't deserve it. But that's exactly what it was, whether I wanted to admit it at the time or not. Like we were dating each other exclusively. I felt like at the time he deserved it. Hold on, Kojo. I'm sorry. It keeps going off.
No, yes, right. It's usually sometimes when people call you and stuff like that, and they can go off. That's fine.
Okay. I put on do not disturb. It keep I thought I did. Yeah, do not disturb. Okay, sorry. I'm back.
All right. Sorry. So what I was saying was, you were saying and telling us about he didn't deserve the title, because you guys were exclusive. When you say you were exclusive, did you both agree that you were going to be exclusive, or you're going to be dating, or would you be fall into this situation,
Um,
like verbally say it?
it was agreed for sure. He let it be known that you know he had strong feelings for me, and he didn't want anybody else but me. And I want to be with you, Morgan. Um, you know, I want to start a family with you. I want to marry you. I'm ready. You know, he's ready for all those things, which is where that extreme reaction came from. which was in my mind, yeah, we're exclusive, but I'm still like waiting for you to show me something, show me why you should be, my man. Why should I walk around telling people that you're my man? But ultimately, that's what it was. We were dating.
Wait, what did you want
We
him
were
to show
dating.
you to make it official? What did you want him to show you?
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this was when I maybe early 30s with Junior. I don't remember. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I what did I want Junior to show me? I think we would have been a power couple. I think
Mm.
Junior and I could have done a lot of great things together, but he showed me signs that weren't consistent with his actions.
Mm.
Um, so I feel like with men, you got to give them a little time to get it together. Yeah, you got to, when someone shows you who they are, you should believe them. But I think with men, y'all just need a little bit more time. Um,
Mm.
and so I was giving him some time to like let things, smooth out on their own. And we just never got to the point where he was consistent enough or available enough or honest enough. But I cared about him. Duh. It wasn't like I just couldn't stand the man. No, I that was my only concern with him was really just the inconsistency and women called my phone. Um, yeah. So again, I felt like I gave him enough time because I'm really a runner. I'm really like a runner and a track star. Like I will dip
You're a
on your
runner, you're a
ass.
track star.
I'm a whole
Mm-hmm.
runner. I'm a track star. You strike one time and I'm out. So I'm like, I got to stop doing that because I probably am jeopardizing, maybe some possibly some good relationships if I'm leaving too quick. I'm not giving him a chance. Um, and as a matter of fact, I actually have heard that before. Like you just kind of hold things in and then, it all comes out at one time and you light a
Mm.
match to it and you run away. And that's kind of true. So yeah, I caught myself just giving him some time to get his shit together, and it just came to a point where I said, "All right, that's enough," and that's what ended our relationship.
Mm. Okay, just okay. So I know you said you don't want to give him the title, but and I know he said he wanted you, but did he say, Morgan, we in a relationship? Did he say that? Did he say, Morgan, I want you to be my girlfriend? That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm looking for. Did he say those words?
Yeah.
And then when he said those words, what were your words?
Okay. All right. All right. We'll see, child. Okay. You say so. That's my. That's like a Morgan. If you say so, child. Probably what I said.
Okay, so if you say so, so would you say that was a response of you agreeing to be in a relationship,
Yeah.
or was that you just saying, I don't know if I believe that you actually mean what you say?
That part. The latter.
So were you really in a relationship, Morgan? I mean, because it's such a great area.
And that's why I said it was a gray area. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to make it sound better. I'm just like it was kind of yes and kind of no.
Okay.
But to
So
just
kind
say
of yes,
that,
kind of no. Okay.
kind of yes, kind of no. I wasn't dating nobody else. You know, he was.
Mm,
He was. So, but that's just in my nature. Anyway,
mm,
I really don't like. I can't date multiple people at the same time. It's not in my character. I'm just a loyal person through and through. And I think it just bites me in the ass because I expect people to be the same way.
mm-hmm,
And that's usually not the case, unfortunately.
mm. You said you're running a track star. What is it? I know what you mean, but I would like you to expand on that. You're a runner and a track star. When did that start happening?
A long time. A long time.
Mm,
A long time. And that's kind of why I slowed down. It's because I run so quick. Like the first thing I run. So people are like, why you entertain Tony for so long? And I think that's why, because everyone's like, Morgan, You need to pick somebody. You can't keep waiting for this perfect man. You just need to pick one, Morgan. And I was like, fine, I'm gonna just pick one. I'm here on the show. I'm gonna pick one. No, he's not perfect, but I just always run. I always run. So I'm like, let me just give this man a little bit of time. No, he's not perfect. Let me just give it a little bit of time before I run. And I eventually ran, just I guess not as fast as y'all wanted me to. We stopped filming in August, and Tony and I, we didn't make it till October, but I'm crucified for it, as if I just let this man, run amok for months and months and months. No, I felt
Mm,
like I deserved to give it a fair shot after we weren't filming, and I did. It didn't last as long as maybe y'all think it did. I don't know, but yeah, I just got to a point where I gotta stop running, and with
mm,
when I started feeling like I gotta stop running, I feel like I started putting up with too much bullshit, and that's the
mm,
reason why I run, is because I'm not here for it. But then when I do that, then everybody's like, you didn't give him a chance, you didn't do that. So
mm,
damn if I do, damn if I don't. But I was just trying to pick one. I'm still trying to pick one. I just pick one at this point.
mm, mm,
Let me just pick
mm.
one, Kojo.
No. Mm.
Okay.
Okay. So we haven't finished Junior, so let me go back there because we ain't finished
Mhm.
him. Because now
Mhm.
now we got this gray area. Okay, all
Mhm.
right. You kind of know what you're doing, but you're not sure 100%. But you kind of know what you're doing. So it's a gray area. Okay, and then how do we get to the point of the near situation? Because at that point, like I said, just it sounds like it's still gray. So walk us through this so we can understand your perspective, how near happens, because you guys are not necessarily exclusive, but you're kind of treading that fine line.
We was exclusive enough. Let him tell it we were exclusive. So that's why it happened. So the day of, um, I'm so tired of this damn near story. So can we just make
Mm.
it like real short? So,
You can make it short if you want to make it short. I really want to know. I want to know. It's less about the story and more about your mentality because well, as far as we're concerned, when we saw on the show, you were unremorseful about it. So I'm trying to figure out why you were unremorseful about it, really.
okay, so
But
this is the
you walk us
reason.
through the story. Hmm.
When Julie and I first started dating, I told him, listen, I'm at a point where I know what I want. I'm ready to settle down. If you think I'm the one for you, great. If not, you want to still keep this thing light and casual, which is what we were doing. Um, then let's do that. Like, we won't have to put a time on it. Like, we can grow into that, But don't tell me this is what you want if it's not really what you want. Oh no, Morgan, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. This is what I want. Okay, I'm letting you know now. I don't have too much sense left. I told him I don't have too much sense left. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of being broken. I'm tired of being taken advantage of. So, if this is what you want, then fine. Yes, this is what I want. So, I guess the exclusivity was there on his end. His mouth said it. But me trying to be protect myself, I'm like, yeah, we'll see. So it's actually crazy because I'm the one denying the relationship, but I'm the one that's being loyal. He's the one pushing for the relationship, and he's the one that was being disloyal. So it just
Hmm.
wasn't making sense. I was sick. He came to my house. He checked on me on Christmas. He left. I get on Instagram, do a little trolling. He on Instagram taking family photos with another woman and two kids, which is apparently his ex fiance slash current fiance. She called my phone and said, "This is Junior's fiance." And I was like, God dog it. This is too much. This is too much. I've had enough. Somebody called my phone asking for the fiance. Yeah, yeah. He had a lot going on. Um, so yeah, a part of me was just like, Morgan, just let it go, like I always do. I
Mm.
always let it go. Just take the high road. Just be the bigger person. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Hmm.
And yeah, for whatever reason, this situation, I just felt like it was so much. Um, and to be honest with you, I won't even say like I was hurt. Like I don't even remember like crying over Gene. Like, oh, he didn't know. I just felt tried. I felt tried. I didn't feel hurt. I felt tried. I was like, ah, you gonna see me for this one because I told you behind. Don't do that. So yeah. I had a debate with myself on the way over there. I'm like, Morgan, if you do this, you are officially nuts. And I said, well, I'm not going to do it. I was nervous. I was terrified. Like, what's gonna happen? Should I do it? Like, yeah. So ultimately, the Red Angel won that day, and I was like, nah, just let's do it. You don't have to see me today. And yeah, it was an argument for sure. It was a tough argument. And then yeah, he kicked me out. Duh. I was prepared. Um, I was hoping for the best, but preparing myself for the worst because I knew
Mhm.
it was a big deal. Um, yeah, so he couldn't believe I did it, man. And he called me and said, "You're so crazy. Why you do this to me?" And I said, "Well, I told you how I felt." And his friends was calling me, cracking up. My friends was calling him, cracking up. So I guess if I'm crazy, all my friends crazy too, because it's a classic story. It's definitely one for the books.
Mhm.
Um, he wanted to take me out to dinner like later on in the week, and I'm like, boy, I'm not going nowhere with you. You're gonna hurt me. He was like, Morgan, I'm not gonna do anything to you. I just want to see
Why do
you.
you
I
think he
told
would
him,
hurt you?
I just took that man hair off.
Mhm.
Slick ball.
Mm.
So he took me out to dinner, and I sat like way over there. Like I would not sit next to him. I put the chair like way over there. I was like, nah, I don't know if he's putting my food or whatever. But no, he tried to hurt me. He just always wanted to make amends. And unfortunately, we just never got back to that relationship status. But as I've said time and time again, Junior forgave me long time ago.
Mhm.
Um, it is a memorable story. I don't think he holds anything in his heart, or else I would have known it. Yeah, we get along very well. He came to support me on the show. When the show aired, the Nairgate episode, he came to the watch party and supported me then too. So Junior and I are great. Hey Junior, he don't watch this. He don't watch these things. But hi Junior.
Mm.
Hmm.
Now, just to ask a question, was there more to the near story that was left out?
Yeah, but y'all, that's all. I'll save I'll save I'll save his reactions and stuff for the right platform. This ain't it, Kojo. Not now. I gotta get over this first half. Let me just get over Ready to Love. Like, um, most the rest.
Hey, I respect it. I ain't gonna push it. If you ain't gonna say it, you ain't gonna say it. I just wanted to
Hmm.
just see. Okay, cool. I ain't gonna be mad at it. Okay. So, okay. So this is gonna be part of our last question because it's part one. We're gonna have to drop part two because there's too much to go through in this today. Um. So obviously, like I said, you're on the show. You said you were unremorseful. Is that still the position you hold now?
I'm so sorry that you guys want me to be so sorry about it and apologetic and oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm so sorry. And you know what? I'm not sorry. I'm tired of apologizing to y'all. Y'all want me to apologize for freaking Nair. You want me to apologize for Blake. I mean, if I cared about what you guys think about me apologizing for everything, I would be one sad sucker. So was I remorseful at the time? No. I apologized. I moved past it. It was years ago, and I'm not going to continue to apologize for it. I wouldn't do it again. That's the best I got for you. I don't know what else y'all want me to say. You want to force me into an apology? I'm so sorry I did it. Yeah, I said sorry. I said sorry. And it was a one time thing, it was an isolated event. And y'all want to crucify me for it. I shared you a very pivotal moment in my life. I shared it with y'all. So, yeah, I won't do it again.
So it's interesting that when I asked, "Are you still remorseful?" you took us on a tangent which had nothing to do with what I actually said. I didn't ask for an apology. Nobody's asking for an apology. We're asking, "Are you remorseful?" Because on the show you actually said you're not remorseful about it. So I'm not asking for an
Rem-
apology. No one wants an apology. We're
oh,
asking,
everyone wants an
"Are you
apology.
remorseful?" Well, I don't want an apology, and none of my reviews were
Hmm.
talking about having necessarily an apology. It's about
Hmm.
whether you're remorseful or not.
Okay,
And so
define
when I
remorseful.
asked,
Like, do I regret doing it?
do you regret doing it? Because you said you weren't at the time. So I'm saying now you've looked back on it. It's been a few months since the situation. Since you said it on the show when you were in front of Mark Anthony, that you didn't regret what you did. Do you look back now? But actually, no, I do regret what I did. That's different from an apology. You've already apologized. You said what you said.
Okay.
You're gonna do it again.
So, for the record, Um, no, I'm not remorseful. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, so would I do it again? Would I, if I could go back, would I have done it? Is that no?
No, no,
Am
I'm
I
not asking
sorry
you if
that
you
I
do it
did it?
again.
Okay, am I sorry that
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
I did it? No,
Why?
because I was emotional at the time. Everybody has a breaking point. Steel pipes burst. So if that was what I was going through, if that's how I, you know, lashed out, which is what it was, I got to eat that. I made my peace with Junior. I wouldn't do no crazy stuff like that again. Um, should I have done it then? Uh, I could have walked away, but I always walk away. I was tired of walking away. I was tired of taking the high road. I was tired of being the one that's always hurt and nothing else happens. So it was just a lesson for me. Like at some point your game's gonna catch up with you, whether it's gonna be with me or another woman. Like certain men, I won't say he deserved it, but at some point you're gonna cross the wrong woman. And I think he just caught me at a real bad time where he probably could have chose his pick better actions. So um should I be remorseful?
I'm asking you because I'm looking at you, Morgan. I'm asking that question because if you say that you're comfortable with justifying your action because you felt like you felt some type of way, that's scary. I just want to tell you straight face to face because I've done it in my reviews, but I want to tell you face to face. That is scary. If you feel that because you felt some type of way, you're justified in your action. If everybody takes that approach, nobody lives a long life. So
I
that's why I'm
didn't.
asking whether you're remorseful.
Mhm. I don't think my actions were justified. I don't think that they were normal. Um, I don't think that they were okay. I'm aware. I'm just not going to give you guys the answer that you all want so desperately.
But what? Wait, Morgan.
When I say you,
What?
I'm not talking about you, Kojo. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the viewers as a whole.
Okay.
I'm not here I'm not here to apologize for everything that I've done wrong. I'm not here to be remorseful about everything that I've done wrong in my past. I think that there are certain situations that I'm remorseful about. Just because my actions weren't warranted or justified don't necessarily mean I have to be remorseful. So,
Were you
no.
not justified? Were you not justified in how you spoke about Natasha? But you apologized. Were you
I
not
was
justified?
remorseful. I was
But
remorseful.
why? You were justified in what you said. Natasha, whatever way, okay, two
Mhm.
twos was with Tony. Tony tried to play you, okay, tried to
Mhm.
take you for a dickhead. So
Mhm.
you were justified in saying what you said. So why are we remorseful there, but we're not remorseful here?
I don't know. I was
That's
sorry about one. I was sorry about one. I didn't like the way I spoke about her. I think there's a time and a place. And again, I'm very open, maybe too open for that conversation to have came out the way that it came out. I was hurt. I was offended. I was embarrassed by what had just happened to me, and I took it out on the wrong person. And for that, I am sorry and remorseful. So I'm aware.
I don't
Wrong
want you
is
to
right.
apologize for Natasha though.
Right. No, I'm done apologizing to Natasha.
Yeah, I don't want you
Yeah.
to. But
I'm
you
just saying the
apologized just
difference.
now.
Right. I'm saying the
Why?
difference between being remorseful about that versus remorseful
Yeah.
about what I did with Junior. I don't know why I'm more partial to being remorseful about that than I am with Junior. I don't know. Sorry. You That's all I got for you is I don't know. I'm not sorry about maybe I'm not as remorseful as I should be with Junior because
Hmm.
um I guess I was hurt and I was angry and that's how I responded to it. So Natasha ain't do nothing to me. That's what it is. Natasha ain't do nothing to
Mm.
me. That girl ain't do nothing to me.
Okay.
So I had a reason to do that to her. There was no reason to do that to her. That girl ain't did nothing to me. I didn't even exist in her world at that time. So that's the difference.
Mm.
Natasha didn't try to hurt me. She didn't lie to me. She didn't deceive me. She didn't come for me. She wasn't talking shit about me. Natasha didn't do anything to me. So I have to be remorseful. about doing something like that to somebody that don't even freaking know me or care about me. You know what I mean? So that's the difference.
Are you remorseful about Blake?
No, Blake and I were fine weeks after. By the time by the time we got to the mansion, me and Blake was just fine. I said my piece with him. I apologized to him. Um, I apologized to him in advance, and it became a
Mm.
joke. I was like, Blake, I'm sorry because I said some things. I'm sorry before it comes out. I didn't mean it. I take it back. And yeah, I don't, I don't. I said what I said.
Wait, so you are remorseful? You're not remorseful. You kind of give both. You kind of give both. So you're not remorseful about what you said to Blake, but you said what you said. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I apologize, but I still said what I said. Does that mean it made it okay at the time? Then, maybe for me, yes, maybe for some, no. I don't think I said nothing that was that crazy, to be honest with you. I didn't cuss at the man. I didn't put him down. I said some words that you
You call
guys
him a
didn't
malignant
like.
cancer.
I
You
called him a
call him
cancer
a
because
malignant
I
one.
mean a malignant one, not a benign one, and that takes a little vocabulary. You ask me, it'd have been easier to cuss him out. Again, he mentioned the cancer word first. He said Jeffrey's, her lies are spreading like cancer. Um, and I just
Spreading
took it and
like
ran with
is
it.
a
I
simile.
know, I know,
You know what I mean?
I know
To
what a
say someone
simile is
is
like.
completely
Yeah, so
different.
I heard the word and it just, just went off with it, just ran with it. Um, no, for real. Let me think about how I feel about Blake. Um, Blake didn't hurt me, no, but there was just so much like tension with the whole Blake situation. I didn't want to be there. I didn't like what was going on amongst him and the female cast members. Um, More importantly, I didn't want to be there. I felt forced into being in that setting with him when I
Of
myself
course.
would have never been put in that position. So first and foremost, I'm already on 10 because I want to be there. And then he comes in with this, uh, representative
Mm.
of himself, or so I thought at the time. I hope they don't lock me in here, Koja. The lights are still on, so I hear people
We're
talking.
coming to the end.
Um, um, yeah, so um I probably shouldn't have said it, but I did. So I apologize for calling Blake a malignant cancer.
Mm. Okay. That's what I want to say this because I said in my reviews, but I'm gonna say it to you. Listen, Morgan, you are stunning and you are beautiful. Melanin popping. You are my little crush. I can't lie to you.
Thank
But
you.
this situation, I told it to her, it shook me.
Again, you guys are, first of all, y'all watching this like way after, and you guys aren't there. Like this is days and days and days of events. This is weeks of events since the
I
mixer when
get
this
you.
man been telling everybody. When this man been telling everybody, I don't want a man, I just want a kid, which is the complete opposite.
Mm.
I could have been somebody's mama. I value partnership and relationship way more than being someone's mom. So yeah, I'm mad that you're saying this stuff about me. Your lies are spreading like cancer. Maybe I should have said like cancer, not calling the man a cancer. Again,
Mm.
word choice. So y'all want me to reword it. So maybe I need to work on my delivery. But
I
again,
think your word was fine. It was perfect because that's what you meant, and that's the issue.
so according to you and maybe about 90% of other people, and guess what? Okay.
I think we need to find the root cause of this pain that you're feeling because the way vengeance is yours and not the Lord's, especially to us as men, vengeance is not the Lord's, it's yours, Morgan. And
Just
it
that one
seems to be
time.
coming.
Just
Baby,
that one
it's not,
time.
but baby, it's not just that. it's not just the near. It's then it's the Blake, but then it's also the popping off, even at the reunion with how how you popped off at I know Tony's not perfect, so don't get twisted. I'm sure there's a story behind it, and we'll get to that in part two. Then of course the argument with Marcia. Then obviously as well, also whilst on the show, let's not forget at one point you even told Tony, and you might have said you were joking. Listen, I don't want to hurt you. You've been saying don't let me hurt you, right? So there seems to be some vengeance that comes with Morgan, and I'm saying if we don't find the root cause of this pain that comes up whenever you feel that you're hurt, that you are justified in the action that you do, we all gonna suffer. And no matter how beautiful, no matter how stunning you are, that is always going to be the quintessential part that stops people being able to stay in the long term. I'm talking about from man perspective, because there's always going to be a fear that if I sleep with two eyes open today, two eyes closed, tomorrow I could not be there, because vengeance is not the Lord's, it's
Sorry.
Morgan's.
Y'all about to
Oh,
close?
sorry.
You close? No, I'm done. I'm just sitting here. Yeah. Okay, how long y'all gonna be here? Oh, he's still work. He's still okay. Oh no, I'm done. I'm done.
That's how we gotta wrap it up. But
I think I got some time actually. Somebody's still up there working with somebody, so they're not putting me out just yet. Okay, so okay, I hear you. I just want to say this. You,
yes.
I completely understand the opinion that you've made based off of the character
Mm,
that you saw of Morgan. Again, I cannot reverse the things that were said, but but the show is very good at showing my responses.
yeah.
It never showed the reason I responded. I won't say never, but very rarely did you guys get to see why I just started yelling, which to me was kind of crazy. Like, am I talking to myself? I think one time um, I said something on stage like, boy, to Andre, ain't nobody trying to attack you. And my mouth wasn't moving. It's
Mm,
that bad. It's literally that bad that this is what the extremes they had to go to paint me as some unstable, unhinged, psycho, dysfunctional woman. And the devil is a lie. There's nothing wrong with me. I have I have the same amount of issues, the same amount of imperfection as everybody else. And I'm not gonna let you, the viewers, own or nobody else take that away from me. I'm not perfect. I probably said some things. I did some things. I'm going to stand by them. If y'all don't like it, sorry. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend to be apologetic and remorseful for everything that I did. I popped off because I'm going to pop off. That's just who I am to my core. Does that make me okay? Does that make me perfect? No, but take it or leave it, man. This is how I am. Okay. I've never lost a man. I've never had a man walk away from me because I was too crazy or I was he couldn't sleep. He had to sleep with one eye open. Never. As a matter of fact, they all want me back, down to Tony. And I could list them off before that too. My antics or my craziness has never ran a man away from me, because that's not who I am. Y'all got to see my worst of me at one time. It was just televised. And that's the problem I have with everybody sitting there and saying all these things and forming all these opinions as if y'all shit don't stink. Miss me with that. Okay. Y'all just happen to see mine. I was able to be transparent. I was able to do what a lot of people can't, and that's keep it a bean. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Take it or leave it, man. A lot of people don't like to hear the truth. I'm sorry, but it's my truth, and you guys are seeing a, a 5 minute conversation of what took 2 hours to film. No, not even. It took 4 or 5 hours, and they're gonna narrow it down to my worst parts, and that's what bothers me.
mm.
That's what bothers me about the way the show was edited. But at the end of the day, you know, I got to take it because that's what I signed up for. But I'm still gonna stand up for myself, which is a beautiful, wonderful, amazing human being. Y'all didn't get to see it. Sucks to be you, but I am who I am, and I love myself.
So I definitely hear that, and I think I've been down this road before. So I'm just highlight something for you. On
Mhm.
this channel, I don't talk about people as a being. I talk about behavior. Two are different. You as a human being, Morgan, you're a great human being, right? But like you just said, not everyone's shit is being seen, right? But
Mhm.
shit's got to come from somewhere because it's coming because
You're
you're
right.
eating something for this shit to come out. So
Mhm.
what I'm asking is, what is the where is this pain coming from? Because if you're reacting in this way, there is something that is being triggered in you that is causing behavior, not the person, not the being, the behavior. So I'm not asking for apologies. I'm not asking you to come out and be like, "Hey guys, did it sorry?" No, what I'm looking for is this person saying, "Do you know what? I realize there's some. I realize I've got some triggers here because I'm seeing that there's some things I haven't dealt with, and this is the reason why it's causing X, Y, and Z, right?" And I'm also looking for the person to say, "Listen, hey, look, I look back at that behavior, and yes, that behavior was wrong. I don't need an apology. I'm just going back on what you had said on the show." So when I'm talking about as a behavior issue. I'm like,
Okay.
yo, some of the behaviors are
Okay.
scary, Morgan.
So I'm gonna unhear the word apology. We're done with the word apology.
Yes,
Um,
no more apologies.
fine. Um, you said the way I snapped on Tony at the reunion. Tony, he shut up for a reason. And I told him to shut
Mhm,
up. Did he talk? My response to him was 1000% justified, and that's between me and him.
mhm,
Um, which is it's probably, where is all this coming from? It came from the appropriate place, and I choose to leave it at that. I hadn't talked to Tony. So not only was I still emotional about what me and Tony had went through, I hadn't seen him. So y'all got my initial reaction after I done went through what I went through, right? Where I needed him, he couldn't have been there for me, and this is my first time seeing him, and he got the
mhm.
nerve to say this to me. Oh yeah, I popped off. Um, I felt like there was a lot of times where I was antagonized um, by certain people, and no one sees that, but y'all just see my reaction, and my behavior is now unhealthy. No, it's not. I think I could come across. I think I can all we can all use some help, myself included. I think I could use some therapy. I think there's some things that I'm dealing with probably that I'm not even aware of. Maybe it's past relationships, maybe it's trauma from past relationships. I'm not a therapist. I don't know, but I'm definitely okay. I'm not anti-therapy. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get some right now.
Mm.
Um, but the things that you guys saw was half a story. It was half a story. And we can get to the full part of the story, part two.
Part two.
But no, no one's. I refuse to allow that character of me to represent the real Morgan. That was a character. I had nothing to do with that person. They took pieces. They took pieces from a recording from week one, for crying out loud, and dropped it into the last week of filming. How y'all want me to take accountability for that?
So when you spoke to Tony and you said, when he was kissing other women, don't let me hurt you. That was recording from last week, the week before. That was
No,
that
that
recording,
was
right?
that was just banter. That's Tony and I's relationship. That's my relationship with my friends. I'm not gonna put my hands on that man. You guys are reading way too much into it. Way too much.
How do you expect me not
I
to
don't
read
know.
much into?
I don't
How do
know
you expect
if
me
it's
not
a
to, Morgan?
I
Morgan,
don't know if it's a cultural thing or
no,
what, but in the black community in America, boy, don't make me hurt you. Boy, I will hurt you.
no. But
And
when
that's
you whilst I believe that's a joke, and I definitely hear you that can be a joke, and I'm sure some people will say they'll take it as a joke, but when we take into context all the things that have happened, so even in that conversation, of course, when it first started, it was joking. The slight tone was starting to go somewhere. Then add the near situation. Then add the fact as well. And this is some people don't see it this way, so that's fine up to them. But I've explained this why this is always problematic. When people ask people to, I need a man that puts me in my place, it goes right along that energy of I will hurt you. It goes right along that energy of the near situation. They all come with that same kind of energy, right?
which is what?
So whenever someone says I need a man to put my place,
Hmm.
and I'm not talking about even physical violence or anything like that, that usually comes with toxicity, right? Because it's forming on the line of aggression rather than assertiveness. If you need a man who can not necessarily, and again, things like I need a man that can handle me, things like that oftentimes are what I call soft words that actually are a red flags to saying to somebody there's toxicity here. I'm the
So
type.
why? Let me ask a question.
Go for it,
Why would
please.
why why when
Talk to
another
me.
woman says it?
Mm.
why is it received much differently than when I
Who
say
said
it?
it? Who said it?
Because I remember
Certain.
sitting at I remember sitting at the table, and you know, myself and another cast woman, we both
Mm.
agreed that we want a man to take charge. So when I said put me in my place, I don't have I don't I don't have any, you know, desire for a man to sit me down and shut me up. But I know I got a mouth, and I
Mm.
want him as a bold woman. I need a very strong man to make me feel like I don't have to play that role anymore. So if I summed it up to, I just want a man to put me in my place. Again, y'all don't know me. So it's easy to take one sentence that I say and another one that I say and put it together and form an opinion of me. But if you
Mm.
know me, then you know that that's what Morgan's talking about. Is that fair?
No, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. If you're saying that we have to get to know you, I would say that we have an, a collective of evidences which would then say that whilst we that could be fair, also the fairness would be on the other side, which is we have quite a bit of information that would see things differently. For instance, the way you put it just now was beautiful. You said I need a man to take charge, right? But when you actually look up the phrase "put someone in their place," it's actually military, and it's to let somebody know what rank they are. It's to let someone know what position they are, which is below yours. It comes with a it comes that's what I said about it comes with a toxicity. The word in itself, and that's what I said, like words have an energy behind them. And sometimes we may not fully understand the depth of that word or the phrase we're using. But a lot of the
But how
words
you
that
know
you were
that wasn't
using,
said? How you know that's not what I was said? How do you know that wasn't the full conversation?
well, I
Because
don't
it
know. I
was.
don't know.
It was.
I don't know.
It, it
I don't
was.
know. So
I
you might have
elaborated.
said it.
I
You might have said
elaborated
it.
just like I elaborated when I said, Marcy, you would have been a distraction. Oh, but I
Mhm.
just popped off on Marcy for no good reason. No, what was said was, well, I don't mean any harm, but everyone else had a distraction. Uh, Cynthia had Anthony and Andre. Jeffrey had Mark Anthony and Andre. Even Sue Ann had Anthony and Blake still. I explained what I meant. I didn't just say,
I
girl,
hear you.
you're a distraction. How do you know that wasn't taken out of context? Like everything else that I said. Um,
Morgan. You know I like you, but baby, when you said a
mm,
distraction, I've told my audiences as well, words come along with body language and and non-verbal cues. In fact,
okay.
70% of our communication is non-verbal. The way
Hmm.
you address that comment with the tone that you put, it wasn't just, hey, you're a distraction. You put some emphasis on the distraction to let her know you were putting her a little bit in her place, which is why she responded. And then if it hadn't, if you went on to explain, say, hey, actually, do you know what? The person said they don't like the word distraction. It sounds rude. You could have just changed the word, but you said you was like, "Nah, I'm gonna think about eating." You gonna get the word distraction, okay? But I'm explaining it, and it makes it sound as if I'm being nice. But you can be nice, nasty, even with you going, "I'm explaining it." Do you know what I'm saying to you? So, like, you could have chose a different word, right? At that point, because I think most people read it in a particular way, where it's like, "Sis, you're saying distraction, and you know what you're saying."
I'm
It's like
saying,
me. It's like me saying, "Shut up and be quiet, Morgan." If I say to you,
no,
"Shut up,"
no,
and then
no, no, no,
explain it
no, no,
and then
no,
explain it
no.
and say, let me explain
Kojo,
what I meant by
w-
shut up.
a
Come on, Morgan. Yes, babe.
distraction is something that diverts your attention away
I
from
agree.
something else. So now y'all
I
saying I
agree.
should have picked a different word.
Uh,
Jesus, Lord have mercy on my soul. No,
it's yeah.
no. It would have been different if I sat up here and I said it with any malice. Now, maybe
Okay.
again, the tone and the body language that you was getting from me was because I was not talking to her. I was talking to Tony. I was talking to Tony. Tommy asked me a question that I didn't even get a
Hmm.
chance to explain myself because I kept being interrupted.
Yeah.
So if my frustration came out is because I wasn't quite talking to you, sweetheart. I just needed to explain my story. Can I tell my story? Can I tell my story? So that's what was going on. I said it then. I said it now. I wasn't coming for Marcy. I'm sorry if she took it that way or you took it that way. Trust me. If I was coming for her, I promise you I would tell you. However, it was received by you all, I can't do anything about that. When I said a distraction, I meant literally the definition of a distraction. Would a diversion have sounded better? Distraction is actually a compliment if you think about it.
Oh my God, Morgan, come on,
Because
Morgie, come on, come on,
if you were a non-factor, then you wouldn't be a distraction.
baby, come on,
I'm just
Morgan.
saying. I'm just saying it's
No,
facts. If
Morgan,
you were a
no,
non-factor, then I wouldn't have had no reason to call
you,
you a distraction. A distraction.
Morgan, you have perfected the eloquence of being able to shoot without it becoming super aggressive. You perfected that beautifully, right? So that's why we're calling it out because you eloquently dropped, you classily dropped a cut at Marcia.
No,
And
you want
if
me
it,
to have dropped a cut at Messia, and I didn't. You want me to say so bad that I was being messy. And again, you don't
I don't
know
want
me,
to
Kojo. You don't know me, Kojo. You don't know me. So therefore you can't tell me how my delivery. You can't tell me my delivery is off because you don't know me. Y'all know a
but
little
the
bit of
person
me.
received it that way then. So even though we received it, so the audience
So
received it that way, and also the
okay.
person who you were speaking on received it that way.
I
So
don't
then
think you want
what
to
would have been
acknowledge
best
that there was
after?
mhm.
Go on, sorry, go on. What are you gonna say?
I don't think you want to acknowledge that I corrected and justified what I was saying.
Okay.
That
Did
just
you
means
apologize to
nothing.
Marcia? Did you
For
say
what?
sorry? That's my point. That's my point. Thank you. That's my point. You,
Bye, Kojo.
the person said that they were hurt by what you said. The person
She
said they
didn't
didn't
say
like
she
what
was
you said.
hurt. She
Okay,
didn't
she didn't
say
say
she
the
was.
words hurt, but
So
she didn't
because
like the
she
way you
didn't like
spoke
what I
about
said,
it.
I owe her an apology. You
No,
got to be
all
out your freaking
no, it's
mind.
like a major. It's not like an apology. It's like, okay, sorry, let me reword what I said because I didn't mean it to be
Mm-mm.
rude. Right? That's all. And you move forward.
You're nitpicking because that's exactly what I said. I just said
Oh,
it
is
in
it? Okay.
Morgan's terms. Yes. I
Yeah.
said,
Okay.
I'm not trying to be funny, Marcy. Everybody had a distraction. How much clearer can I have been?
Okay.
No, you saying okay, but you don't want to acknowledge that what I'm saying
I don't. I don't
is
want to fight with
true.
you.
I don't. You can. Let's. Sorry. If I was coming for the girl, I would be sorry, but I was not coming for her. And again,
Hmm.
I think what changes the whole dynamic of the conversation is me specifying what I meant by the word distraction. And if that's not good enough, I don't know what to tell y'all.
Okay.
Did you
I'll
think
take your word for that.
would you
Huh?
agree that everyone else had a distraction at the household? What's a better word
Yeah, yeah.
for me to have
Listen,
used?
first and foremost, I'm not saying what you said isn't true. It's true. That's why I said that. But certain words carry a certain energy in the context and in the way that one said. Which is why, for instance, if you're being loud and I tell you to shut up, I've told the truth. I want you to shut up. But it's a better way to me to say it than saying shut up. I really should say, listen, can you please be quiet, please? Right?
You
If I
got
say
me.
shut up, it's fighting words. You know what I mean? Like if I say shut up, it's fighting words, and I don't want it to be fighting words. So even how I'm approaching you,
Okay, I'm gonna say
I don't
this.
say everything. Go for it. Go for
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
say it how you guys want me to say it. So, Tommy, yes, I think I was very uncomfortable at the mansion, and I was hurt by what he said. And you know, did he care about me? Yes. Did I think that there was some validity in what he said about Marcy? Absolutely. Had she had been there, maybe he would have he would have had less time to be so
Mhm.
consumed with what Lyndon and I had going on.
Shoot.
A
I
plus
mean, listen. The fact that you knew how to do it tells me you could have done it, but you didn't want to do it.
because I didn't mean no harm by it. No, I'm not here to tailor myself to each one of y'all's specific requests and needs. I said what I said. I said what I said. I'm not sorry. Come on, man. Kojo, you about to make me mad, man. Talking about I should have said it a better way. It's reality TV. And it's the
I
reason
bet
why
you
y'all
look
sitting
cute when
here
you're mad.
watching. Oh, it's the reason why y'all sitting here watching. If I was so picture perfect, wouldn't nobody care. And to be 100% honest with you, come on, man, get over it. Y'all need to get over that for real. Get over it.
See that's the real energy right there. That's the real
It is.
energy.
Get
No,
over
no, no.
it.
That's a because that's what you really feel. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. You can front all you want to front, but that's the real energy behind it. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. You can say, oh, I wasn't trying to be rude, but that energy behind it is what's actually really coming. That's what's
Because I
actually being
said get
shown.
over it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
because
mean
that's how
it.
you really
Get
feel about it.
over it. I really mean it. Get over
Yeah.
it. I really mean that you should get over it because you want it you want me to have said it with malicious intentions. Y'all want me to have said it with malicious intentions so bad that this is what we're doing right now. We're going to pick it apart and we're going to analyze it and we're going to say, I should have said it softer. No, go find somebody else to say it softer. I said what I said. I meant it. I explained it. I justified it. So if you guys want to still sit up here and pick me apart, I don't have nothing to do with that.
I don't want
You
to pick
go
you
right
apart.
ahead.
Do you feel
Yes, you
like I'm?
do.
Do you feel like I'm picking you apart, Morgan?
Yes, you do. You do.
Do you feel like I'm picking you apart?
No, but you getting to the bottom of what people want to know. So I'm not, directing this energy at you. I'm
Mm,
directing this energy at what I've been seeing and hearing all season, which
mm.
is, I could have said it better. Man, maybe because I was in the military. Somebody saw that. Well, this explains a lot. And I don't want to blame the military, but
No, no, I get what you're saying. Hmm.
I don't know how to sugarcoat shit. Sorry that I don't know how to make certain things sound better to make other people feel so much better about themselves. I should have said it with more kindness. And I should have said it a lot sweeter than that. And I should have, maybe stroked her ego and it just been a little bit more considerate about her feelings in that moment. And I could have just get somebody else to do it, Kojo. I am not the one.
I actually think you are the one. Not that way. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But I mean, I think you are the one. I
Which
think.
is
I
what?
think. I think you put up a very hard front, because you are trying to
I
protect
don't
yourself.
though. I don't. I'm as soft as
Baby,
pie.
what?
Y'all just
We ain't seen it right now. I mean, listen, I see some soft. There was some softness. You gave it to us earlier in this episode, but I'm
hmm
saying to you, when you get into the shits and the gigs, bro, we get totally different energy.
yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. Listen, look, I'm trying to get to the bottom of where this comes from. So do you know what I'm gonna ask a re question again, Morgan. Maybe I'll get the same answer. Who knows? I'm gonna take you all the way. Why are you laughing at that? why, why, why are you laughing at
Go
that? You
ahead,
better
man.
get.
Go ahead.
I,
Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna ask this question, Morgs, because I think once you give us a bit of your background, I think I kind of understood you a little bit better, right?
Okay.
Control is something you don't like. Would you agree?
To a certain extent.
Mm,
Listen, I love gender roles. I don't want to
hmm,
be controlled, but I
hmm,
love gender roles. So when I said I want a man to put me in my place, I want him to be the head of my household. I want my man to have the final say. I want him to make decisions for our family. I want to respect him enough to allow him to make those decisions for myself and for my
mm.
family. So when I say put me in my place, I want you to take the lead and allow me to be my feminine because I've been defending myself like I feel like I'm doing right now for so long. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm tired of making excuses or, having to explain myself and defend myself to
Is
people I
that
don't
in
know.
life? Is that
No,
in life? You mean?
no, it's not in life. That's why I feel more like irritated because I'm having to explain myself to people that don't know me. Y'all like don't know me. So I think that's what's most irritating. This is not something I deal with in my normal life,
Mm.
but this is what y'all saw. So,
So who was the first man to let you down, Morgan?
um,
Ever?
ah, let me down ever? I don't know, Kojo. High school? I don't know. My first boyfriend? I don't know. You're looking for some kind of traumatic. I feel like,
No,
how about this? I feel like you're looking for some kind of traumatizing event that happened in my life, and that's not.
it's not necessarily about traumatic.
Oh, okay. Well, a
Although
lot
most
of
things are
men,
traumatic, but we don't necessarily norm it as trauma. But
right? A
trauma is such
lot
a
of.
big word. I don't like to label it as trauma, because as soon as we do, people want to shop. Like, oh, you're looking for
Mhm.
something traumatic. No, I'm looking for a reason as to why we're here at this moment in time, as to why behavior is the way it is.
And
So
you
I'm
think
looking
you
for the
know my
epicenter.
behavior. You think you know my behavior.
I've seen the behavior before, but I don't know the epicenter. Everyone has their own epicenter, so I'm trying to figure out where the epicenter is,
The
so we can get
epicenter
a
of
clearer
Morgan.
perspective. Yeah.
Okay. And you think that this 1 hour and 38-minute conversation is going to give you. I'm a dynamic person. You'll never get to the epicenter, especially not like this.
Mm.
There's so many layers to me. There's so many life experiences that I've had. You'll never get to the center of me like this. Yeah. I know who I am. I know who I am to my core.
Okay, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Listen, look, we're gonna wrap it up because we want part two, and I want them to come back for part two, which is gonna be straight shooting about the show, right? But I wanted part one to be a bit more in terms of us getting to know you, give a bit of time and space to be able to just to breathe and just say, a bit more about Morgan rather than the show. So I appreciate you being honest, and I appreciate you sharing your heart as well and your experiences with us, right? So on part two will be straight shooting, straight to the show. We won't do none of this background stuff. So you won't have to feel like I'm trying to doctor you or anything like that. You know what I mean? Are you
Okay,
breaking stuff,
Kojo.
girl?
I dropped my
No.
phone. So if I say, all right, Kojo, don't make me hurt you. We're gonna analyze that next
I,
part two too.
we gonna analyze all of that. So you
Kojo,
better not say it.
it was a joke.
Hmm?
It was a joke. You people need to lighten up. You people need to lighten up, man. Learn to take a joke. I wouldn't get along with half of y'all, more than half of y'all, because y'all take life too serious. It's not that
Yeah,
serious. Laugh.
some of us will be running.
Bye.
For everybody's safety. No.
Bye, Kojo. All right. Well, I hope
Listen,
you got a little bit more clarity as to me, and I hope that answers some of y'all questions or not. I answered
they
any
got
of y'all
more. Don't
questions
worry.
the way you wanted me
Part
to.
two, they got
Yeah.
more for you. Don't worry. They got
Okay.
more
Well,
questions
I'll
for part
see
two.
y'all. I'll see y'all part two.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
part
I'm
two.
gonna, I'm gonna end this live, but don't go anywhere because I need to chop it just quickly behind the scenes. But listen, audience, I appreciate you. Stay locked, stay loaded. Thank you for sticking with us as well. We're gonna do a part two. I'll drop a notification for you guys when part two is available and dropping out. But listen, stay locked, stay loaded. There's more to come, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Much love, much appreciation.